You are listening to a recording from the Cooperating to Build a Better Nova Scotia conference in Halifax, a celebration marking the United Nations International Year of Cooperatives.
And you've been here since Thursday morning doing the co-op thing.
No, I didn't get here till Thursday night. They wouldn't. You had to be a youth to come to the youth conference, and I don't quite fit the category anymore.
This is Peter Hough, and your title is?
I'm the financial officer of the Canadian Worker Co-op Federation, and I'm also the course director for the CoopZone training programs that we deliver across Canada.
So is Nova Scotia a better place?
Of course. Would we want to live anywhere else? Maybe Newfoundland, but, the options in terms of improvement over Nova Scotia aren't very good.
You're very kind. Just because I'm from Newfoundland, right? Yeah. So there's lots of discussion, lots of talk, lots of sessions and so on. You've been to these many times, this sorts of things. When you go to a conference like this, and you know the cooperative movement very well, what kinds of things are you looking for yourself?
Well, you're always looking to learn something new. I mean, essentially, you want to go to some sessions, hear some different ideas, hear some new ideas. Of course, you're always interested to connect with new people, and you connect with the people you've known all along, which is great as well. So, I think connecting with new people, here there actually have been a lot of young people, so I've had lots of great, interesting discussions with the kind of stuff they're up to and what they're doing. And I think the other thing is, you're always trying to see if there's some new ideas about how we can, move the cooperative sector forward in more effective ways and take opportunities and work better together, more effectively together.
I find I go to a conference, I write notes, and I'm all excited, and I go home and I don't have time to even look at the notes. What's your discipline related to that?
Oh, I rarely write any notes. And if I'm writing notes in the conference, usually it has nothing to do directly with what's being said, but it has to do with something it triggers in my mind. And so that, then I'll write that note, but I actually much rather listen carefully and remember important things. If I start trying to write them down, I can't do two things at once.
So the notes are things like avoid wearing a purple tie with a pink shirt or something.
Yeah, no, I don't make those kind of notes.
You mentioned youth a couple times, and what's your sense of how aware youth are of the cooperative movement?
And actually, I don't actually like that term. I was thinking afterwards, it's really what we're talking about is we're talking about young adults. I mean, they're not youth. I mean, if you're 30 years old, you're not youth. If you're 25, you're not youth, right? But often they're referred to that way, and I really don't like it. I mean, they're young adults, and So what was your question now that I've clarified that?
No, I agree.
It is Saturday morning,
There has been this age inflation. You see, as the bureaucrats get older, the definition of youth gets older.
Exactly.
Okay, well, young adults. What's your impression of whether young adults are aware of the cooperative movement? And I guess underneath that is the question about the future of the cooperative movement.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting here. They had a great session that was filled to capacity. They had a couple of the community colleges bringing a bunch of students here. I think across the board, of course, the awareness of youth and the awareness with adults of the co-op sector is still extremely limited. The encouraging thing is that the sort of youth that you end up at these conferences are all really dynamic, interesting, creative types of people, and they get enthused about the cooperative option. And, the co-organizer of the conference here is a young man, and so it's great, and there's some other people that I've been involved with that are actively leading the conference. The woman here today that's doing the facilitation is a young woman for the visioning session. So it's great to actually see these young people coming along and knowing that when you actually do step out of the picture, that there's these young people that are really, taking over and are enthused about it and are capable and confident and, have new ideas and going in new directions.
So we're a year and a week away from the end of the International Year of the Co-ops, which is 2012. Was there any highlight of this year in your mind? There's lots of celebrations around co-ops.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me the thing that's been has changed the most actually is that the cooperative sector has learned about itself. I don't know how much we've managed actually to bridge outside of the sector, but the sector is in so many sort of separate silos. Each individual co-op is an autonomous unit serving its members, often doesn't focus and know about other co-ops, even in its same community, because there's really, from running their co-op perspective, there's no reason to do that. So I think there's been a phenomenal awakening between the cooperative movement itself and also in terms of financial cooperatives. So the credit union system has become much more cognizant of being part of the non-financial sector cooperatives. So I think the movement as a whole has really become a lot more self-aware and is actually starting to think about things in a way that they didn't before. So that's really positive. I don't know, as I said, it's not so much a disappointment, but I'm not sure how much we've been able to bridge beyond that. I think that's a task now. If we've got that stronger foundation within the movement, I think over the next 10 years, setting some new goals about actually enhancing the broader awareness of co-ops and moving in that direction, I think we've now got a much better foundation to do that from than what we did a year ago.
So the year has been more of a revival service for the people who are already members of the congregation as opposed to proselytizing.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, revival, that I would like to maybe think it was that as well. I was thinking more just at a wake up or an awareness, right? But maybe that's the beginning of a revival, right?
So do you think we'll get to the end of the year of co-ops, or what do you think about this Mayan prophecy thing?
I have no clue. When is it supposed to happen? It's not passed yet, eh? It's not.
No, I think it's December 12th or something. 21st.
Oh, okay. No, some things I just can't clutter my brain with too many things. It's like
Just to throw you off.
yeah.
So what's up this morning? The sessions, visioning session.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it except that it's a visioning session about kind of going forward with the cooperative movement in Nova Scotia. So what are the kinds of things that we would like to accomplish and see done and that sort of thing. So actually, I'm quite interested to see what they do because you have different approaches to visioning sessions. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what they've come up with and where we end up at the end of the morning.
So it's like a collective vision quest.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Maybe without some of the stress. Well, maybe with as much of the stress. We'll see.
You'll be wandering around the campus here with all these people looking for the vision. Well, I'll let you get in.
They're looking for the vision, right?
Well, have a good morning, and thanks for stopping by and chatting.
Well, thank you.